Top of the day, beautiful people. Top of the day. That's wobble, it's wobble, sawubona. I'll pull up my screen. Oh, if you ever wonder what Bible online I was using, I'm using the Bible Gateway app. It's really easy to navigate. Okay. 63. Okay. Check it out. 63. All right. Oh, why not? Let's do 4 today. They're pretty short. Okay. Happy Friday, everybody. Betwabble, Yeeble, Sawubona, yeah. Okay, y'all. It is Friday, October the 23rd, 2020. Day 283 of reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets, also known as the Old Testament. And this is day 647 of the 2-year consecutive day count. All right, y'all. Today we're reading Psalm 63, 64, 65, and 66. They're averaging. The first one is 20 verses, but the other ones are averaging like 10, 11 verses. So we just going to do 4. All right, so let's back up here. $63. Okay, y'all. Psalm 63. O Yahuwah, you are my God. I earnestly search for you. My soul thirsts for you. My whole body longs for you in this parched and weary land where there is no water. I have seen you in your sanctuary and gazed upon your power and glory. Your unfailing love is better than life itself. How I praise you. I praise you as long as I live, lifting up my hands in prayer. Okay, you need to go plug it in because it's about to die too. Go plug it in on my side. I will praise you as long as I live, lifting up my hands to you in prayer. You satisfy me more than the richest feast. I will praise you with songs of joy. I lie awake thinking of you, meditating on you through the night, because you are my helper. I sing for joy in the shadow of your wings. I cling to you. Your strong right hand holds me securely. But those plotting to destroy me will come to ruin. They will go down into the depths of the earth. They will die by the sword and become the food of jackals. But the king will rejoice in Yahuwah. All who swear to tell the truth will praise him, while liars will be silenced. Psalm chapter 64. O Yahuwah, listen to my complaint. Protect my life from my enemies' threats. Hide me from the plots of this evil mob, from this gang of wrongdoers. They sharpen their tongues like swords and aim their bitter words like arrows. They shoot from ambush at the innocent, attacking suddenly and fearlessly. They encourage each other to do evil and plan how to set their traps in secret. Who will ever notice, they ask, as they plot their crimes. They say, we have devised the perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. But Yahuwah himself will shoot them with his arrows, suddenly striking them down. Their own tongues will ruin them, and all who see them will shake their heads in scorn. Then everyone will be afraid. They will proclaim the mighty acts of Yahuwah and realize all the amazing things he does. The godly will rejoice in Yahuwah and find shelter in him, and those who do what is right will praise him. Greetings, greetings. All right, y'all. Psalm chapter 65. What mighty praise, O Yahuwah, belongs to you in Zion. We will fulfill our vows to you, for you answer our prayers. All of us must come to you, though we are overwhelmed by our sins. You forgive them all. What joy for those you choose to bring near, those who live in your holy courts. What festivities await us inside your holy temple. You faithfully answer our prayers with awesome deeds. O Yahuwah, our Savior, you are the hope of everyone on earth, even those who sail on distant seas. You formed the mountains by your power and armed yourself with mighty strength. You quieted the raging oceans with their pounding waves and silenced the shouting of the nations. Those who live at the ends of the earth stand in awe of your wonders. From where the sun rises to where it sets, you inspire shouts of joy. You take care of the earth and water it, making it rich and fertile. The river of Yahuwah has plenty of water. It provides a bountiful harvest of grain, for you have ordered it so. You drench the plowed ground with rain, melting the clods and leveling the ridges. You soften the earth with showers and bless its abundant crops. You crown the year with a bountiful harvest. Even the hard pathways overflow with abundance. The grasslands of the wilderness becomes a lush pasture, and the hillsides blossom with joy. The meadows are clothed with flocks of sheep, and the valleys are carpeted with grain. They all shout and sing for joy. Last chapter for the day, y'all. Psalm chapter 66. Shout joyful praises to Yahuwah, all the earth. Sing about the glory of his name. Tell the world how glorious he is. Say to Yahuwah, how awesome are your deeds. Your enemies cringe before your mighty power. Everything on earth will worship you. They will sing your praises, shouting your name in glorious songs. Come and see what our God has done, what awesome miracles he performs for people. He made a dry path through the Red Sea, and his people went across on foot. There we rejoice in him, for by his great power he rules forever. He watches every moment of the nations. Let no rebel rise in defiance. Let the whole world bless our God and loudly sing his praises. Our lives are in his hands, and he keeps our feet from stumbling. You have tested us, O Yah. You have purified us like silver. You captured us in your net and laid the burden of slavery on our backs. Then you put a leader over us. We went through the fire and blood, but you brought us to a place of great abundance. Now I come to your temple with burnt offerings to fulfill the vows I made to you. Yes, the secret vows I made when I was in deep trouble. This is why I am sacrificing burnt offerings to you, the best of my rams as a pleasing aroma, and sacrifice of bull and male goats. Come and listen, all you who fear Yahuwah, and I will tell you what he did for me. For I cried out to him for help, praising him as I spoke. If I had not confessed the sin in my heart, you, Yahuwah, would not have listened. But Yahuwah did listen. He paid attention to my prayer. Praise Yahuwah, who did not ignore my prayer or withdraw his unfailing love from me. All right, beautiful people. To the baby. Get down for a second. I'm almost done. Get down. Yes, get down. Get down. I'm almost done. Yes.
I'll put you some meat right in the store.
Okay, give me a second, baby girl. Hop down. Thank you. Give my back back. All right. Okay. All right, beautiful people. That was our reading for today. Psalm chapter 63, 64, 65, and 66. It is day 283 of reading through the books of the Law and Prophets, year 2, day 647 of the 2-year consecutive day count without the Sabbath and the Sabbath feast days added. Well, I tell you, I get tongue-tied some days trying to say all that. Again, it is October the 23rd, 2020, Friday. All right, y'all. Remember the Sabbath tomorrow. Remember, with every new moon, the Sabbaths for that month fall on the day of the new moon. That's how we're able to keep count and not lose the count from beginning of time, right? There definitely are some questions we should ask about things. I don't necessarily like listening to explanations from people who have lied to us for so long. That's why I started looking into stuff. But, just remember that everything that Yahuwah has set for us to understand, he has put it in nature. And most of the time, people cannot fool with nature. They can do chemtrails and try to cover up the sky with different things so you can't necessarily see sometimes, but Yahuwah always prevails. So it's easy for us to keep track of everything he told us to keep track of. Even in Jubilees, it tells us that we would go astray from actually keeping the dates, but as we begin to understand and we read through the book of Enoch, the wisdom is there for us. If we would just read it and go outside and look and see with our own eyes, it's easy for us to get back on track and calculate it appropriately. So tomorrow we won't be here because it's the Sabbath and we resting. Time to blow the shofar again. Yes. Let's see. Something else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah. So y'all probably saw me up posting this morning early. Jubilees in chapter 1. I know I mention things a lot of times in Jubilees and Jasher, and I know a lot of times people watch this, they may not even go back and look to verify the things that I said. Some people just listen, okay, boom, whatever. But since we're about to start at Genesis again, I wanted you guys who actually haven't read it to actually go and read that, so you can actually see that Genesis is just a summation of the full account, and Jubilees gives you the full account of what happened during creation in each day. And if you understood that, and if you would read that, people wouldn't get stumped on the beginning. Well, who was the us in the beginning? I'm telling you, it's all there. Yahuwah said there was no one with me in the beginning. There was no one. It was only him. But when you see what was created on the first day, and through the seventh day, well, the seventh day he rested, but you can see more detail. And when you read, as you read Jubilees and get familiar with it, and some of the other longer books, you will see that what has been canonized has been almost taken word from the full accounts and just summed up together. So it's almost like what we have are the cliff notes, y'all. So that's how a lot of people, how did you get that? You got to go back to some of the original documents, because the full story is there, even about the whole account of the Exodus and when they came in and the plagues and the time span between each of the plagues and what happened. Because when Moses, after he left Egypt, when he ran, after he killed the Egyptian, he was gone for a few years. He was gone for quite a few years. Then he came back, but the first time he showed himself to Ramses, or the Pharaoh, and said, Yahuwah said, let my people go. From that very first time until the next time he saw Moses, it was a 2-year span. So all these things, a lot of these things would come together, and some of the teachings and error that we get in church, it wouldn't be so easy to get food on some of these things, because you have all the information that you need to see a bigger picture. And with a lot of this stuff taken out, you have to kind of guess or assume, and that's how the church sometimes come up with different doctrines and stuff that would never have taken place had we had all the information. So now that we have all these different doctrines, and this some doctrines that now that I look back, I'm like, how could I have believed that? Like that, a lot of things seem foolish to you now that you have all the information. But a lot of people, I see it's hard for them to, how can I say this? It's hard for them to adjust their theory of what they've been taught about what has happened and what Yah has did with the little bit of information they have. So when the new information comes in, it's like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. And rightfully so, you definitely should put the red flags up, make sure nobody's trying to fool you. But like I always say, just a little bit of light research. Some things you got to dig a little bit deeper, just simply because it's been covered so well. But during these days, Yahuwah said all the information is going to return back to the sons and daughters, because remember, this was written to us, not to the other nations. But while we went into captivity, this was their opportunity to get to know our Yah, our God, our Elohim, our Father, and then they could choose to become a part of Israel. And once all the nations have had their opportunity to learn about him and experience his presence, his peace, his goodness, we wake up at the end of our captivity, and now it's time to return everything back to the sons and daughters so we can begin doing what's right. This captivity, I think it was this bad and this long. He said, because when they wake up this time, when they come back this time, they're going to choose to put all that foolishness away. And remember, we kept getting kicked out of the land because we kept turning away from Yahuwah's law, statutes, and commands. He said, never again will they be kicked out. Why? Because I'm just like, wait a minute. And everybody that's waking up to this is like, wait a minute, we hear this is happening because of this. We turned away from y'all because of this. oh my gosh. And it's like, and they said, we're going to begin to repent for ourselves and for previous generations, our ancestors, and all the stuff from turning away from him. Because as you see it, and he opens your eyes and you get missing pieces of the prophecies and our history that he has given us, like literally it causes you to weep from like the depths of your soul. And it's like, oh my gosh, Father, forgive us, and we begin to get more understanding as he restores knowledge back to us of who we are and where we come from and all these things. And literally it's like sometimes it seems to me like we're living in a big movie, and everybody knows that this is a movie except for us. Yes, baby girl.
Mosquitoes got me.
Mosquitoes got you? Okay, I got you. Give me a second, Pooh. Yeah, so I said all that to say I'm starting to post, like, if you've been to my page, you will see first day of creation. So what I'm doing, because I know some people just not going to go back and read it just to see, I'm posting it with little emojis and stuff, so it kind of looks fun to read. Oh, what's this? I'm trying to draw their attention in, like, at least so they can at least lay their eyes on it, so they have some more knowledge to work with. Like, wait a minute, because the more information you have, the better Yahuwah can work with you, and so you can see things and you can begin to grow. But a lot of people, they really content with what they've been given, without going any further. I mean, I that's not okay for me. That may be okay for some, but that's not okay for me, especially when Yahuwah has so much more that he wants to show us. We can only go to a certain level of understanding and grow with certain levels of information that we have, so you have to be taught, you have to see some things in order to grow. Just like children growing in school and learning math, you can't learn some of the other things without learning some of the basic foundational things, because each thing builds on the previous step. You can't ascend higher if you don't climb the bottom steps. You can look up, but you can only look so far. But the one who's climbing, they can actually see more, and they can see over, down, and beyond, especially if it's another side. They can see it, but you stand out, oh yeah, no, I see just fine. Sis, no, I'm telling you, you need to come up here, look at this. You can't see what's up. Look, come up here. No, I'm good. I can see you. I'm like, no, you can't see. I'm trying to tell you, come up here, come. There's steps right there. Right there. Follow the steps that I went up. Come up. You can see. So it's one of those type things. So I'm trying to help y'all see, like, come up here, look. And because I know some people, they just not going to take the time and go, look, I'm trying to put it out here. Look, come look. Here are the steps. Come look. Come see, bruh, sis. Here. Look here. Look. You got more stuff here. Look at this. This is going to help you make this make sense. So that's why I'm posting that. So when we go back through Genesis this time, you will already understand. Yes, baby girl.
I wasn't right.
Okay, give me a second. So you already know, you will have this extra information. So as we go through, you still won't be struggling with some of these basic things about, like, who is us at the beginning. Who's he talking about? And everybody say, oh, it's JC. And it's not JC with him there at the beginning. If you read Jubilees, it tells you exactly who was there. Yahuwah said there was no one with me, but you will see in as you see the full account, what he created on the first day. You just got like a couple of the things, but it tells you that all the spirits that we talk about, angels and stuff, all that as well was created on the first day. So now you have all the spirits of his presence and the angels of purification, all those things. You will see it in there. All of them were created on the first day, along with the light and everything. So guys, you just gotta read it to see, and check into it. And there's a lot of historical documents now that's coming out that can prove a lot of the stuff that has been written, and some of the extra books, like I said, that were not canonized, where if you grew up in some churches or whatever, because of the doctrine that they push down and that they teach them in the theology and going through seminary school, it's a reason why they taught what they taught. And some of the false doctrines, they were in error, but pastors teach it because that's what they were taught to teach. And especially if they don't actually go back and start searching into that stuff, they just going to keep peddling garbage from the pulpit, y'all. 3. Okay. 3804. And it's 3.
This?
Yes. 8. 8, no. Delete. 8. Yeah, now you press that 0. 4. Very good. You're still on 1%, Tootie. Go plug it in.
Mom!
Oh, this little lady. Y'all hear her? She be doing the most. Like, she runs stuff around here. She gonna make me... Girl, get out this kitchen. And so, but yes, I'm just trying to help y'all, seeing those who I know they kind of come in and go out, and they were like, yeah, I don't know what Pam talking about. So I'm trying to help y'all. See, I'm trying to make it as plain as possible, but a lot of times we just tell people stuff, they just take it one ear out the other. People don't actually begin to own their information until they really begin to go searching for it for themselves. It's like if you constantly give people stuff, they tend to overlook the value in it, and they don't treat it as precious. Like, think about teenagers. When they're growing up and you constantly giving them money, it's like, oh, give me this and give me that. We spending dad and mom's money. But when they start working and they got their own money, now, oh, no, you got a job, or you just got paid, or you got allowance to use your money. Oh, I ain't hungry now. You don't need to stop at McDonald's now. I'll fix me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich when we get home. Now they start to think, because now, oh, it causes them to think in a different light. Now I got to be responsible, because if I use this up, when do I have more coming in? Or I can't just continue. Although mom and dad, maybe they want to bless you with stuff, but responsibility comes in. So you have to begin. It's time to grow up. It's time to grow up. Begin thinking, doing proper things for yourself, looking ahead of time, having foresight. If I take this and spend this, I may not have anything left. So do I need to spend this? What do I really need to spend? Learn how to do things wisely. So it causes you to take ownership of the situation. Whether you have to spend your money, you got to think this through. Okay, do I really need to do this, or am I going to be wasteful? No, it helps you make better choices. Same thing. When you go actually research information for yourself, now the responsibility now falls on you. Okay, is this true? Can I find this somewhere else? I should be able to find this written in history somewhere. There should be something else to prove this outside of this. I mean, you can see in nature where this is being proven. You can actually look at some people, and it's proved just by looking at the human beings that are in front of your face. Look at the situations that are happening. Oh, that line sort of said this will be happening. The only people that this is happening to is this particular group of people. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to help you as much as I can without just constantly giving you everything. I think I'm still doing a little bit of both. I'm trying to give you everything, but I know some people just like, yep, oh, that was a good listen, go on about my business, but if I can actually put it there, some people like, oh, what did I say that catch their attention? Oh, wait, what did I say? Was it found at Jubilees? Oh, let me pull up Jubilees, because you can find Jubilees online. You got apps you can download, the Apocrypha. You can just go in the store and buy it now. But the Sefer, the one that I'm posting it from, the Sefer Bible, you can actually download that app as well. They have a free version, and they have the more extended version. I think that's probably, I forget how much I paid for it. I think it was $19.99 or maybe $29.99. I don't remember because I bought it a couple years ago. But anyway, y'all, that was it. So y'all gonna see me post. I'm gonna finish. I think I only posted the first 3 days, but I'm gonna finish posting it. And after I post it, I probably won't post it today. It's some stuff where even if people would just read this part, they would get, oh snap, maybe we really should be keeping Yahuwah's laws, statutes, and commands, because an erroneous teaching that is happening. And I'll just be like, listen, guys, go see what Yahuwah said out his own mouth. He said this would not happen. And because it's been taught and passed down so long, we just used to sitting in the church because we trust our pastors, we trust our leaders, And a lot of times, like I said, they're just, they're just regurgitating what they've been taught. A lot of times they don't know that they have blinders on their eyes, But a lot of times people sit and think, that's like, well, they prayed and y'all gave them this. I'm like, yeah, he probably did. I said, but I began to look at things a little bit more. Yahuwah, like I said, Yahuwah will deal with you on a level of your understanding, right? So, but the more understanding you have, the more things he can give to you. Some things he'll give to you, like I said, even like in visions and dreams, you may not quite know. You don't have to understand. Remember I told you a couple dreams that I got like when I was 19 years old, but now at 41 years old, I'm just now understanding what it meant, because over these last 20-something years, over 20-something years from the time that I had that dream, I had to take in more information to actually understand that. So y'all will do that. He will give you information, but it's something to kind of a gauge, kind of look back to see if we quite there yet. But when you come to the time where you can understand it, you're going to know exactly that this is what this meant. So it takes some time a lot of times for us to grow in our understanding and our mental capacity, because sometimes we're just not ready. He'll drop some stuff on us, some nuggets here and there, but it may take some time before you can actually understand it. And that, a lot of times, that depends on you and how diligent you are about studying and getting down to the nitty gritty. And and especially also it has a lot to do with how indoctrinated you were, with this current place we live, and how indoctrinated you were in religion. Because
Mom,
before yes, baby girl.
Where's my baby doll? I set her right there.
Go check and see if she's in your toy box. I know you set her right there, but maybe you walked through there and you carried her and set her down. Just go back and check, because you came in here with new toys. So see if you took her in there and set her down and grabbed new toys and left her.
Turn the light on.
Go ahead, just go turn the light on.
No.
Okay, I gotta hurry up, y'all. So a lot of times we have to develop over the years before we can actually before we're actually able to understand. And a lot of times we have to see things more than once before it'll even register. Science has shown that, like, if you're trying to introduce a new concept to somebody, they have to hear it and see it at least 7 times before it even click. Like, wait, what? Then they'll start remembering all the times that, oh, wait, I remember, oh, snap. Like, seriously. So that's how it happens. Yahuwah constantly, he's faithful. He knows that's how we work. And if you are deeply indoctrinated, it may take some time. Like when I pulled us out of church, when we stepped away from the church, I want to say, not so much stepped away, but like we was in church like all the time. We just kind of, because I was like, Father, something, right? It seemed like the same, it's like the same thing year after year. I say we don't seem to be going any higher, but it's like I experienced more outside of the church with my dreams and visions and actually talking to you than I'm actually getting going in there. It's like, I feel like, not that I knew more than the pastors or anything, but it felt like, okay, this is like kindergarten. Like, I'm not in kindergarten anymore. It's like, so I've already understand this, and I need more in order to continue growing. So, and I noticed that progression over the years, Yahuwah will move us from here. Yes, baby girl.
It's not a baby.
Okay. So I would notice as we move, every time we move, a different level of growing and understanding was able to develop, But this last time, I was like, Father, we just gonna kind of step away from this right here and not be so involved, because when you're constantly like involved in the church, a lot of times you find yourself being busy in the church and actually not really spending time with y'all, but you think this suffices because I'm helping in the church all the time and I'm doing this, but it doesn't take the place of that. You're actually distanced, although it seems that you're doing the work of the kingdom. In the process of you doing the work for the kingdom, you're actually distancing yourself away from y'all, because when you're away from this, you're not actually spending time with y'all because you think this suffices, and it absolutely doesn't, So when we pulled ourselves away, especially, we lived in church. Even after I left that church, I was, kind of doing the same thing when I was going to the new church, and then, my husband's like, man, it's like something is like missing. Like we praying as a family and stuff, and I'm like, Father, what is going on? I was like, I feel like something is off, and it's like I've always had that feeling. I was like, something is missing here, and I be watching. I'm like, okay, Father, I'm reading about this and it's talking about the power, but I see a powerless church and ain't nothing happen. You see like little small kind of miracles and stuff, but not real miracles and stuff. I'm looking for a real miracle. Like, I want to see somebody that like is like things where you see with people that have Down syndrome. I want to see them have straight faces. Those are the kind of miracles. Those are the things that I deem to be miracles. Or somebody then lost something and it grew back. And I know we hear about, leg just kind of got length and stuff. And I'm like, you can stretch and that'll happen. You just get a good stretch going on and lengthen it. But I was like, that's not a miracle to me. Somebody that's like, y'all get what I'm saying, right? So when we stepped away, it's like, Father, I'm just gonna, I need to detox from this and really focus on you. And I know some people say that and they don't, but I actually did. I didn't step away from the church and stop reading my Bible. I stepped away from the church and I delved into it. And I started researching. I was praying and I started my little fasting here and there, and y'all began to actually open my eyes to some things. I'm like, wait a minute, but I want to say the process of detoxification from the actual church, the four walls of the church, that was probably about a good 3 years, getting some of the indoctrination out of me, like literally. Because, mind you, I've been going to church since I was a little girl. And although, like, when I was smaller, as we moved away from here, moved to Illinois, we was going to church a little less often. I think that was good, too. Because in the process of doing that, moving to Illinois and not going to church so much, we visited churches. But we're like, what in the world is going on with these churches here? It ain't nothing like back home on the East Coast, But, even that was a process of detoxification. But more so, I began to have children. I'm like, I refuse to let my children sit in a place and they're going to come out worse than what we were before we came in there, So, and I've been real overprotective about my children, about that particular thing. Like Jeremiah would go, he said, I can't sit in here. I can't sit in here in children's church. Like when we, yes.
I was right.
Okay. Because he said, I don't know what they're doing. He said, they're just playing around in here. Imagine Jeremiah, I think Jeremiah was probably about 11 or 12. He like 17 now. Yes.
You're not done yet.
I know. I'm about to be done. I know. I'm running my mouth too much, huh?
Yes, I was right.
Okay, y'all. Let me speed this up. So, boy, I say, children, they so honest. She said I'm talking too much and she ready to eat. Okay. So, but, girl, made me lose my train of thought. But I'm really overprotective about my children in that regard. So I'm like, Father, I just can't allow this. So we need to hear what you're saying, and we really need to get some good information, because I know it's more than just theatrics and theology and stuff, because some of the things that I've experienced supernaturally, I know you are real. So I know, right? So guys, I'm gonna have to cut this short. But anyway, we'll finish this conversation because she's about to do the most. So like I said, you will see me posting that because we're about to get back in Genesis. So hopefully you will get a chance to actually go back and read it and actually look into it, y'all. So with that being said, I love you. Girl, I know, right? They love rice for breakfast. Tootie, come on, hop down. I'm getting up right now. Okay, y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see you Sunday morning. Peace.